The soul can truly blossom when it bathes in the radiance of God. The soul flourishes, sings, dances, and unfolds in response to the divine rays of God's anugraha. The soul begins to recognize the value of these divine rays. Just as a flower blooms under the sunlight, so too does the soul blossom under the light of God. But these rays can be received only when the soul has cultivated the habit of turning the mind toward God. Initially, the soul does not possess this habit. It must be deliberately nurtured, for throughout countless lifetimes the soul has been conditioned to contemplate worldly and samsaric matters. Over time, this divine habit begins to take root, and the yogin acquires a taste for it. Naturally, vichara, the inner tendency to inquire into God, the Absolute, is awakened. The yogin now understands that meditation is not merely sitting with eyes closed, trying to maintain thoughtlessness or follow sankalpa. The yogin understands that the true meditation is a penetrating journey into the depths of the divine. With this comes viveka, the ability to discern between what is God and what is not. And along with it, vairagya, a natural detachment from material energy, from Maya Shakti, a spontaneous disinterest in following the path of illusion. The yogin begins to recognize immediately, this is Maya. I do not need Maya. I have no desire to follow the path of delusion. Thus, he cuts off unwanted tendencies of consciousness. Eventually, this taste, this habit of divine contemplation, transforms into deep faith, devotion, and love. It is no longer artificial or mechanical. It ceases to be a practice or training. It becomes spontaneous. Suddenly, the yogin realizes that yoga is spontaneous and dharma is natural. It arises from the depths of one's being. There is nothing contrived or artificial about it, nothing shaped by mental constructs. It is the most natural thing, but the taste for it hadn't arisen before. Now it has, and everything flows effortlessly. Then natural devotion leads to natural immersion in God. This marks the beginning of Laya Yoga, Sahaja Sthiti, the path of effortless natural contemplation. It unfolds just as spontaneously as falling in love. When a man is in love with a woman, he doesn't need to train himself to love her. He doesn't need to deliberately meditate on being in love with her, nor read texts about her beauty. Everything arises on its own. That love consumes him because a powerful center of attraction has appeared. In the same way, he must fall in love with God. Then everything happens spontaneously, regardless of whether he reads scriptures or not, whether he follows a meditation schedule or not. One is always in sahaja meditation, natural meditation. We call this the natural state, sahaja. Such love for God and such devotion lead to total self-surrender. It cannot happen before that. No matter how many lectures you hear about surrender, it will remain dry and lifeless. You will find yourself wondering, to whom am I surrendering? For what purpose? Where is the object of my surrender? Today I feel like surrendering. Tomorrow I don't. Maybe I'll be on my own today. The mind cannot fabricate surrender. It cannot be imitated. True surrender happens naturally when you fall madly in love with God, when you are wholly absorbed in Him, when your heart belongs to Him, and nothing else draws your attention because God has captured your heart. He is the most powerful center of attraction. In that case, vairagya arises spontaneously because there are no other desires, no other points of attraction. Why do people struggle with desires and attachments? Because they have created many centers of attraction, but have not made God the central one. The moment you make God your center of gravity, the world loses all importance. It becomes as trivial as children's toys. From such devotion and love for God, surrender naturally arises. You can no longer imagine not surrendering to God. How can I not surrender to God? What else is even worthy of my surrender? To whom or to what could I possibly surrender? It is unthinkable to not surrender to God and instead surrender to the ego. This is a diseased state of the soul. It is an unhealthy condition. The entire samsara is unwell. All samsaric, karmically bound beings are spiritually sick in the sense that they have not yet found the one to whom they can give themselves. They try to surrender to money, power, fame, family, concepts, sciences, everything but God. Acting in this way, they never find true fulfillment. It is like trying to nourish the body by feeding the nose, the eyes, the hands, or the feet. After such an offering, the soul wonders, why am I still hungry? I've been offering, but the offering was made in the wrong place. Food must be placed in the mouth, so the stomach is nourished, and when the stomach is full, the whole body is satisfied. One must strike at the root. Likewise, when the soul finally finds its Lord, it enters its most natural state. There is no other way to be. This is the law of the universe. This is the nature of existence. Every sage sees this.